Hello and welcome to this episode of No Blasters avec moi here in Bartlett. This is my Cobra Kai t-shirt, one of two. I know, I don't mean I have two of this exact one. I have two different designs, but today's guest is none other than dairy legend Diona Doherty. Diona Haggerty. I did this last time. I'm a dick.
I only do Haggerty for the doctors. You're ringing a Chinese.
Right, okay, yeah, good. I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm a wee dick, right, anyway. Speaking of wee dicks, today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped. Groom your sack and balls and your surrounding area. My favourite product, I've talked about this before, my favourite product is definitely the ball deodorant. It's just a wee golden handshake for your boys. That's what it basically is. After the shower, you're letting yourself dry off like a big pot of spuds.
Is it a spray
Stick a wee bit of butter on there. It's a wee cream.
That's a phenomenal idea. I've never heard of it.
It's actually great. It's great. Do you know what it's good for? It's good not just for the bag, but for the what could you even call it? The salt and vinegar connecting tissue around it. It's very good for that. So get on there. It's on offer at the minute. I actually bought a bottle of it last night, and I used my own code. Victory, no blasters. Use the code no blasters to get 20% off and free delivery. It's sort of basically the best shit you can get for the region. That's what it is. Lawnmower 4.0, skin safe technology. Don't snag that bag. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Also, Weed Whacker. Weed Whacker's good for like orifices, whichever one you want. All right, but I would suggest that if you are going to do the hoop, do it last. Do it last, because if you do the hoop and then the nose, nightmare. If you do the hoop and then your ears, you're hearing your own asshole. Nobody wants that. So go on to manscaped.com and use the code NOBLASTERS to get 20% off and free shipping. Also want to shout out our own Patreon on www.patreon.com/NoBlasters. Over on Patreon, so what do you get for your coin? You get extra time with me, quite literally, every Thursday. No Blasters extra time. That's a dedicated Patreon episode every week. We also have the Noodle Bar, which is me and our Kevin wanking around on a guitar every Sunday morning, and yeah, it's good crack. Basically, the Noodle Bar is you'll see this, by the way, by the time this comes out, there'll be a Noodle Bar episode up and out on the Patreon, which is filmed, like a filmed episode. Normally it's an audio podcast, but we filmed a special episode of it. There'll be clips of it floating around on YouTube, possibly the whole episode at some stage. And yeah, it's just a good time. We take suggestions about songs and genres and then just fuck around. It's 100% improvised. You also get wee updates from me on Sundays about what I've been up to during the week and what's coming up in the week or the weeks ahead. We also have Smells Bitchin', which is a new cookery segment, which is roughly once a month. Second one is about to drop. I have made fish pie. Victory. So get over on the patreon.com/NoBlasters. You get like access to shows ahead of time for tickets and things like that, and you can message us directly and stuff, and you can play us on FIFA on the Patreon episodes. So please do all that. Give me your hard-earned money because I need it. It's better. I'll just say this.
Take robbed money too.
I'll take any money. I will spend it better than you. I will.
Well, if they're spending it on your content.
Look what I've spent money on today. A smoothie.
Yeah.
That's for me to energize. So I'm ready to do this shit. I'm dedicated. What's in it?
It says energize in the front.
Does it?
Shut up.
Energized. There we go. I didn't even. That's just like natural. That's just like natural advertising there. I didn't even fucking know that. I'm in the zone. By the way, want to start off. Sorry to do this, guys. Need to start off with something a bit serious today. Fuck you, Shane. All right? I'll not be talked about behind my back. I hope they're broke. All right? Angel slices. I got Shane. This is like people are like, are you and Shane really mates? Or like, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore
What
because
happened?
right. So it was Shane's birthday.
Yeah.
This is It was Shane's birthday. I was due to meet him. It was the day we recorded here
Right.
on your podcast.
Right.
And then I recorded with Mum after.
Uh-huh.
And then I was late getting back to get my guitar to go meet him to do support at his gig in Coleraine.
Yes.
But I was meant to meet him at Nando's on Butcher, but I was too late to eat Nando's, so I just had to meet him after he had alone. But it was his birthday, and I didn't get him a present, right? But I didn't get him a present because my last birthday.
Already you're painting yourself like a real dickhead here.
I know, but my last birthday, I didn't get a present, so I didn't think I needed to get him a present.
Right.
Now, I went and got him a card, and I got him a present.
Then, at that time, or like another day?
Like later, another time, because he talked shit about me on a podcast, saying that I wrecked his birthday. So I went and got him a card, and me and Chloe wrote lovely message in it, and then we got him.
It'd be great if you wrote the words "lovely message" and that. Was
I know, yeah, we got him gluten-free hobnobs.
Yeah.
But they were gluten-free chocolate hobnobs, and
Oh,
he
I
can't have the chocolate.
dairy.
So he bitched about that, and now I've got him these. What's he getting for me? Apart from heartburn. That's
Oh wait,
all.
so you're giving him these?
Yeah.
But you're very angrily giving him.
Oh
them?
no! Oh, I'm raging now. That's what I'm saying. There's no.
But I've never known someone to go, "Oh, you're a real dickhead. Here's a present."
Oh no! Here's gluten and dairy-free angel slices.
Do you know what? But jokes on him for having just such a dicky wee tummy. Do you know what I mean?
Isn't it?
He's
That's
having
what
a worse time than you.
I definitely think I'm the sort of person that should have some sort of fucking. I mean, I was about to say I should have an eating disorder. I think we all know. But you know what I mean. I don't. Anyway.
So when you say, so did you just buy him a card and no gift? Oh, you bought
No,
him the
I got him a
hobnobs.
gift, and then he cried about it. But he does this. He does this to people. He likes to put people on the back foot about gifts.
What's his obsession with Nando's? That's why I met him last
He
night.
loves
before his
Nando's.
gig too.
He loves Nando's.
I mean, Nando's is nice. But
Where was last night?
well, we met at Nando's Butcher and then we drove to Nando's in Derry.
How was the gig?
Great, yeah, it was good fun.
Millennium Forum.
Millennium Forum, yeah. It was really good. Yeah, it was obviously like sold out. It was round, which is great. Like a gig doesn't normally sell out that much like that in Derry, so it was a really great crowd.
Great.
But yeah, it was like, do you know, you're walking around and everyone wants to get a photograph of Shane. You're all, why hold your coat or?
That's great banter. I one time somebody quite literally fucking climbed over me.
Yeah.
At a table. This was in the Mac years ago. Me and Shane were sitting in the Mac, and like somebody came over and was chatting away to him, and then wanted a photo. And I mean, they clambered like they were like, it was like all my business. And I'm like, and then do you know what they did when they went to try to take it? Their hand. I mean, now I get this. Their hand was too small to take it.
Yeah.
And then they didn't say anything. They just went like this.
Do you?
And I'm like, sweet, I'll be his official photographer then.
Oh,
there we go.
absolutely. I'd have just done a selfie and handed it back.
Oh, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Do you know what Kev does? Because people stop me for photos sometimes.
Yeah.
Kev photo bombs them.
Yes.
But
that's gorgeous.
they are amazing photo bombs because Kev has this green jacket that makes him. I actually really like this jacket. I think it suits Kev, but it does sort of make him look homeless sometimes, right? It's like, you know, like a green, old, beat up, like army jacket type thing. So he sort of looks like a Vietnam vet, right? And but he just stands in the background of a photo, but he probably bombs them like this. He just there's two bombs that he does. One of the bombs that he does is this, where he just goes. But it'll only be his head. His head will just be like floating in the middle of other heads, right?
Yeah.
And then there's another one where he looks off and goes.
Ah, yeah, something great's happening.
Yeah.
But do you ever wonder how many people's photographs that you're in the background of? And do you like just like walking past or like in a nightclub?
Yeah.
Do you like those? You ever see the account on Twitter? It's like fucking chaotic nightclub photographs. It's
Oh,
just
really?
people all like tonguing each other and like it's usually like early 2000s or late 90s and people are just fucking spotty and sweaty and just a mess.
Oh God.
But I always wonder how many photographs of people have taken, like, do you remember we used to constantly take photographs in nightclubs and like you're disposable and you're just in the background with a
Disposable?
massive Smirnoff
Oh my
pint of Smirnoff
God.
Ice or something. Do you know what's a dead art? Autographs.
Do you know what's a what? A dead
A
art?
dead art.
Yeah.
No one's doing. If somebody came over to me and went, "Can I have your autograph?" I'd be like, "Where is your time machine?"
Yeah, no.
How did you get here?
It's totally scandalous. Like
The selfie is the autograph now.
my signature's bollocks as well. I think it looks class, and then every time I do it, people are like, "That's fucking shite looking."
Can you? Is it legible? Do you know what it says?
It's a CB,
Oh yeah.
but I do like a C and then the B under it, and I love it. Like, I'm
That
like,
sounds... Yeah. With a Parker pen.
yeah, I bite my lip every time I do it. I love it, right? But like other
Like the
people,
pen part.
yeah, people see it and go, "That's fucking. What is that squiggle?"
Did you practice it when you were younger?
Yes,
Yeah.
I used to do it. Yeah, I did.
I copied my daddy's because our family are all DD.
Right.
I would say like we're like the Kardashians from Derek's. We're all D from
Yeah,
Derek.
yeah.
And so his is like a D and then like a bit of a scribble and then a D and then another bit of a scribble. And I was like, well, what's now mine? And I have copied his from the start. I think my mum must have copied his too because the three of us have the same signature.
My ma's handwriting is fucking perfect. Like, and it's you couldn't copy her signature.
Yeah.
It's all fucking.
Lucida handwriting.
It's it's unbelievable. And like, oh yeah, fucking. You could never fake a note. I was a wee scaredy cat as well. I wouldn't have faked a note. I would have just begged for a note.
I faked one time in school that I had to go to like the dentist or something, and then my mad bastard friend just broke out, and then we were walking down the back roads. Like, did you call it daubing?
No,
Mitching?
Oh,
What do you call
like
it?
on like beacon off.
Beacon off? What are you, a bird?
Like no, yeah, like on the beak. No.
Again?
Yeah, or like yeah, I think that's what it was called. I mean, again, I never did it.
We did it one time. We were walking in the back roads, and like the back roads, who the fuck drives towards us? My granda. He's never driven on that road in his 90 years of living. I was like, why are you here? And then he literally pulled on and was all, hello girls, dead innocently. He didn't really realise what we were doing. And I was like, we're just walking to school. And he's like, you're going the wrong way, hop in. And then drove us back in.
Oh, it's the worst.
We were out 5 minutes. And what's worst is that because we were walking back into school, when you weren't supposed to have walked out of school, they were like, where are you coming from? And my granddad came in and was all the girls were on their way. I thought I'd drop them in. And I was like, fuck's sake. So then we got detention, got in trouble for daubing. And we hadn't even got the daub yet.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's like walking into a shop going, I think I'm going to rob it. And then they stick you in McGabry. You've got fuck all to see. You've got none.
I remember one time my ma was a teacher, obviously. I remember one time somebody was daubing out of their school and was on the news. Like, my mom was like, he wasn't in my fucking class today. It's like, this kid.
Well, that's how you're going to get caught in the back of photographs.
She was teacher training, and he walked past fucking Ken Reid or something in the middle of town, you know, doing like a piece to camera on the news. And my mom was like, a wee bastard, and he got fucking done for it.
Oh my god!
Because they literally had fucking video evidence from UTV.
Well, that's how you're gonna see people getting caught for things as being in the background of photographs. Like I was saying, like do you know if you're like, oh, I was sick and I couldn't go, and then you're in the background of somebody's photograph.
Somebody got done at the Scottish Cup final, lost his job because he said he phoned in sick, and then like fucking whoever scored, and he's like, and the camera's right on him.
Would you ever sometimes like say to a family member, a friend, oh no, I can't do whatever it is I'm gigging or whatever, and then you have to like tell whoever you're with, don't put anything online. I'm supposed to be gigging.
I've lied about having gigs before. Oh, yeah. I can't do that tonight, mate.
Gigging?
Where are you gigging? Antarctic, mate. Antarctic, yeah. It's a corporate.
That's how Sean proposed to me.
What told you it was doing a corporate?
Told me it was a corporate. No, Sean led on to me that he had a gig in Edinburgh.
Ah, so very good.
We were, do you know what it was? It was a Tuesday night, and we were in the Sunflower recording. Didn't Shane want to fucking Shane's
the radio
shows,
thing, yeah.
And Sean was doing a set on it, and I was in the audience. And afterwards, Sean came over and he was like, "I've just got booked for a gig in the Three Sisters tomorrow night, but I've led on to them that you're my manager. So do you want to come? Because they'll fly you over as well." And I like so naively was all, "Yeah, that's a good show.
Good.
Of course they fly pretend managers over." Went over. So what happened is we went to our hotel, left our shit there, and then Sean was so sneaky. It was all like, "Will we go a dander up?" I want to say Harry's chair, Henry's couch, Arthur's seat. Arthur's seat.
Henry's chair.
Harry's couch. Up to Arthur's
or
seat.
Paul's sofa. Yeah.
Back to where we first met, but because we went up, we did up there when we like on the first sort of couple of weeks after we met at the French, and we walked up, and it was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and he proposed up there anyway, right? And then afterwards, I said, "Oh, we better hurry to get to your gig. Like, what time does this gig start?" And he was all, "There's no
fucking brilliant.
We need to get down this
mountain."
That's what
I thought.
Also, he told me he was all, "I was gonna hire." Now this is on a mountain, right? You can see the whole city. Fucking freezing up there. This is like October, but like it's just like a big expansive piece of land. And Sean was like, I was trying to get a photographer to hide behind a rock up there and take like secret photographs. And I was like, he would have to have used a flash. It's nighttime. And if I was up a mountain in the middle of the night in Edinburgh and there was a man behind a rock with a camera, I'd be like,
that's fucking class.
Somebody ring the peelers.
That's good. I love that.
And then we got to
like,
get to your gig.
I love that you were like, here we've got to get to the Three Sisters.
I know it was. It's like, we better hurry. It's a late one. But I remember on the car on the way over going on their Facebook page to like share it. And I would like to share his gig, whatever. Just like, oh, if anybody we know over in Edinburgh, Sean's gigging tonight in the Three Sisters. I went onto their page, and I remember on the way to the airport going to Sean, they haven't posted about it on their page. Sean was like, it's a private function.
Oh, it's a corporate.
Yeah, it's a corporate. And I was
it.
like, that's so smart afterwards.
That is good. That is good. Can I talk about my finger?
Oh, yes.
Sorry. I know the natural thing to talk about there was how I proposed.
I know, I was
but I don't want to scunner myself. So, mate, here's a word that some of you won't know. Skelf. Alright? That's... See if you call it a splinter, you can't deal with reality. Alright? It's called a fucking skelf. It's in there. Although, I say it's in there, I think a bit of it's still in there. It's tiny. Now,
is it that bit there?
That wee white bit. Now, I've hooked at that with a needle last night. Then I was actually making myself sick last night. Then I got up.
You poked at your finger.
And then I got up early this morning, and I hooked at it. And a wee I was talking about this, a wee iron filing or something hard and evil and fucking right was in there. A wee bit of fucking Jim Alistair or something, right? And it's just in my finger. And then I fucking mate, it's still sore now. I would literally rather take a boot. Don't boot me, anybody, but like...
The worst pain is the wee annoying ones again.
Yeah, I'd rather take a fucking dig in the head than fucking deal with it. It's awful. It's awful.
It's imagine giving birth to you.
I would never put myself in a position to give birth, but also...
whilst I was giving birth, imagine that.
That is the worst, to be fair. But like, see, mate, I know. Aaron Filan sounds like somebody that would like play for Derry. Not like some GAA guy. But so here, what have you been up to? You've been doing your own podcast.
Yes, remember when with Diona.
How's it going?
It's been going great. It's good fun.
So you've banked some of them, and then they're coming out. Are they coming out two at a time?
Do you know what? Every single fucking time that these ones are editing it, I get a text message going, "Can we say that? Is that person an actual convicted paedophile, or have you made that up? Do I have to bleep this person's name?" And I can't remember half the shit I say, and I'm like every time going, you need to give me context because I actually don't know if I'm entrapping myself.
Classic, I was gonna say classic fucking, what's it, defamation, banter.
Yeah, it's like is this okay to say? I just don't know.
Do you remember doing that shit, Michael, at uni? Oh my god.
Defamation of character?
Yeah, during I don't mean do you remember committing that crime, I mean like do you remember, oh my god, learn about it.
But then it's good to know that shit because.
But see the exam questions for it, and see media law exams. Oh mate, right, the most annoying exam you'll ever do in your life.
Why?
Because it becomes fucking ridiculous.
You just watch an episode of Law and Order.
So it'll start you off with like, they'll start you off with a scenario, right, where it'll be like, it'll be something big and splashy, like it'll be like you're reporting on, like a murder case.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to identify, this, that, or the other? And then you answer all the questions about that, and then it goes, but here, just as you're filing your story, fresh information comes in to say that one of the people who's involved in this murder case is actually like, a child or somebody that was involved in a crime that gives them anonymity or something, and you're like, this would never happen. And it's
but it might.
But it goes on forever. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And you're like, I just want to murder all of these people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it becomes...
Just send myself to jail. Can't be arsed. Did you watch
ridiculous.
The Staircase?
I did.
The documentary or the drama?
I've seen the documentary. I haven't watched the drama.
Do you think he done it?
I'm trying to remember.
So he was found guilty.
What I remember about it was... I've never heard the word blowpoke, but they used it a lot.
They used the blowpoke a lot. And I have because it's a Friday night. And
I was going to say they were using it as a noun. I've only ever thought of a blowpoke as a verb. I blow poke, you blow poke, he, she, it blow pokes. But like,
We all blow poke.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did he do it? I don't know. Like, I mean, I suppose that's the whole fucking point, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is that there's a
That's
dilemma.
why it's such a good show.
But like,
The documentary, you're
mean,
watching
probably.
it convinced he done it because you're like he's got a Netflix crew filming him. Like, this is so bizarre. Then the dramatization of it, you're watching it with Colin Firth, and you're all actually, it seems like
Mark Darcy would never do this.
he would never do it. He's too dead on. Although he's got an American accent now, so maybe.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing American. Well, your guy's
Oh,
American.
he's American.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But then there's the owl theory. There's the theory that an owl flew on top of her head, and she was all. And then,
An owl?
I know.
As in the fucking, like, head wig?
Got on her head.
Fuck off.
And scratched her head.
No.
And then she stumbled under the house and fell over. And then that was that. And I believe the owl theory now.
Oh, no. No, an owl? Nah.
Do you say owl?
Owl?
Sean says owl. And I'm like, that's
Owl?
That's literally one step towards divorce.
That's rare.
Owl. I believe the owl theory.
No, I don't. That's no. Am I
think
right?
that's
like,
why-
I think I watched this when it first was out.
Yeah.
So it's a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Is this the thing about the guy who was like an author? He wrote like sort of shitty books and.
So he was an author.
He probably beat her head.
He. That's not even fun. But so his wife died, and everyone was like, "Oh,
How did
his
her blood
defense was
splatter
that
get
she
up the
fell,
wall?
all up his shorts."
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was out by the pool, fucking 3 feet,
Yeah.
like 3 yards away. No more than that.
He's out sending fucking letters to Dumbledore with the owls. Like,
Yeah.
that's fucking mental. No, I don't. He probably did it, didn't he?
So it came out then that he was shagging loads of boys during it. And he was all, my wife knew, and you're like, well, that's really handy for you that she's dead because she can't tell us that she knew, you know what I mean? He's like, no, she knew I was fucking boys.
He was shagging loads of boys.
Yeah. So then that's what they used against him in court, is they were like,
Oh, I remember that now.
yeah,
I remember
obviously it wasn't that
was
happy
like
with her, he was like, fucking boys.
They tried to they were making him out that he had like a weird lifestyle. That was what they went for, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
which was just being gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he probably fucking did it, didn't he?
Well, he's found guilty, so I think, you know, however,
He's not
I
live
want the
anymore, though,
owl
is he, or is
theory
he?
to,
Is he still alive?
I don't know. Probably.
I think he's dead.
Oh, really?
Is he dead?
The
though?
owl got him too!
Yeah, no, yeah. The fuck. Is he dead?
I don't think he's dead.
I think he's dead. I think he died in prison.
No, he got out of prison. He got out for
He's out?
yeah, because he admitted guilty after like whatever amount of years, and they let him out.
Oh, I don't remember this. He's still alive?
So moral of the story is,
He's
own up.
still alive? Is he getting any money out of that series? Bet he fucking is.
I hope so.
I hope he isn't.
I hope he is.
Hold
Although
on, he
I don't
admitted he
think
was
you're allowed
guilty.
to make money off those things, because I think Michaela McCollum wasn't allowed to make money off the back of being in the Peru too. I think it was in her thing.
Please don't talk about that because
I think it was
we're gonna lose this podcast today. Oh my god.
I think that you're not allowed to make money off the back of a crime. If it's off the back of something, you tell me. If it's off the back of a crime you've committed that you've been found guilty for, I don't think
definitely
you're
are.
allowed to make money off the back of that.
I was just about to say Jordan Bell. That's literally who I was thinking of. Jordan Belfort,
Who's that?
The Wolf of Wall Street. Sure,
Oh,
he's written the
right.
book and they optioned the book and
Or have you seen the Tinder Swindler?
I haven't watched that.
That's a guy who was like just talking women into giving him loads and loads of money by pretending he was like the son of some
Right. So
billionaire.
yeah, so there's a few of these ones. There was one called bollocks, I can't remember the name of it now, but there was one that was about a guy. Dan, look this up. It was about a guy who was like pretending to be in the Ra. And
People normally
and he-
pretend not to be in the
I
room.
know, and he was making people give him money. If you type in Netflix documentary, guy spy, a guy pretended to be a spy.
So it's on Netflix.
Yeah. I watched it like literally this year.
The Puppet Master?
The Puppet Master. Where do you hear this, bollocks? This guy was going. So this guy approached students in England, right, and told them he was from MI5, and that the IRA were after them, and they were after him, and he needed them to help him, and he basically kidnapped people, and kept them with him, and a couple of these people, one of these people stayed with him 4 years, and then like this woman was like he'd like left her living like a secret life under a new identity that he'd given her
Oh my god.
in some town somewhere, and she's like working every day, and he like phone her, make sure she's like going to work, and she's like working in like Asda or something.
How awful.
Oh mate,
But-
but like, and they were sending money and all, and then he would come around, he would buck him, and then he'd go
That
away.
is, it would be so easy to go to England with our accent and just pretend
He
you're in Iraq.
didn't know, but he was English.
Oh, he was English?
He was English, saying he was MI5, and the IRA were after these.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd been hanging out with a couple of Irish people or
But
something.
I imagine you could walk down any street in England talking like this and go, I'm in the Ra, give me all your stuff. But if you were here and you'd have someone, you go, I'm in the Ra, give me all your stuff, they'd be like, oh, mate, so am I.
I know, yeah. Like, give me
You
all
go to
your
the meeting
stuff.
that night?
I just think it's... I don't... So, like, with any of those con things,
Yeah.
I realise I'm making myself a massive target here. I just don't buy some of it. Like, I go,
You don't buy
really?
the story that's been publicised?
No, I don't buy. Like, I go, how did
you give away 250 grand to somebody?
When somebody, how do you even have that money? You know what I mean? So one of the people that he went after was fucking loaded. Was from a rich family, and that family were paying out thousands. And I'm going,
On Tinder Swindler, there's a girl who got 9 different loans and ended up giving this guy 250 grand. And he was found guilty of whatever the crimes were, and of taking the piss basically. And I got the official crime.
yeah, 3 counts of taking the piss.
Went to jail
Yeah.
for 18 months for taking the piss.
Yeah.
And she still has to pay that
2
money.
counts of bad banter. Yeah, that's mental.
And she has to pay that money back still. Like, you can't,
yeah.
doesn't get paid off. You don't go, oh shit, and then someone else pays it off.
There's a lot of this. There was a lot of like con documentaries.
Inventing Anna.
What one?
Inventing Anna. We watched Inventing Anna. It was the big one we see. Do you know that one where the girl was she had a mental accent? It was like a German, Russian, American hybrid of an accent, and it was all like, you know that thing, it was all running around TikTok, and she was like, I do not have time for you. No? Have you not seen that?
No.
She was like really posh, and no, she wasn't posh at all. She was pretending that she was like some billionaire's daughter.
Right.
And she was, do you know what it was? Like, create the hype, believe the hype. She was getting on minted, so they were treating her minted. So she was staying at these really fancy like hotels, like $3 grand a night hotels in London, and staying there for like months. And they wouldn't be the sort of place that would come and ask you to pay because you're so rich that they assume that you'll just sort your shit out.
Yeah.
You obviously put down a credit card at the start. So months and months would go by and she's just living there, like fucking eating caviar and drinking champagne every day and living in this like huge suite, months and months and months, and hasn't paid a penny. And then leaves.
That's mental.
And doesn't pay.
Man like me goes in there in a pair of 3 stripes. They're wanting that money up front. Like.
Aye. I was walking around Brown Thomas one time, got followed by a security guard.
I always think Brian Thomas is like, it sounds like what a rich person would call a shit. I'm going.
Just on a Brown Thomas there.
I'm going up here to lay a wee Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
Like,
I was in Brown Thomas in Dublin genuinely one time, and a security guard followed me, like sniffed my hip the whole way around. I was like,
I knew somebody.
I wanted to rob something just to fucking be like, are you happy now? We're all going to jail.
I think I knew somebody that worked there on commission, and apparently it was mental. Like it was mental money. Like
The people,
because people come in and buy like fucking handbags or jackets that are like a couple of grand, and
I have
you get a
never
wee piece of that. Like
understood that. I remember one time having like a fake Louis Vuitton handbag that I got that was on holidays when I was like 16. You just buy like a wee fucking looky fake handbag, and I came back with it. My granddad was all,
a Louis Vuitton.
a wee Louis Vuitton. My granddad was like, why don't you just buy the real one? Why would you have the fake one? And I was like, I'm 16. Where do you think I have like 3.5 grand?
Yeah.
And he was just like, it's so silly having fake
There was
stuff.
there's a bag make that's big at the minute that I can't.
Ball.
No. I would. It's not.
That was me saying ball bag.
Oh fuck! I was like literally sorry.
She was like, I don't think so.
I was like, no, that isn't the name I remember. No, there's some fucking bag that is literally like they're like 12, 13 grand, and they're like, see, you can look at them online. I went on and looked at one, and I just went on Google and typed in big deer bags, and it was
and it's tiny.
Yeah, it's a wee bag, and inside it though, nothing. Like you just open it, and it's nearly
No,
like
Kieran, you pick your own stuff in.
no. fuck off. I mean, like, there's not
That's how
even
handbags work.
there's not even a basic.
How do you not know how
There's
handbags
not even a divider. There's no.
Of all the handbags you've stolen, you don't
Is this
know.
the sign though of a Dare handbag? Is there's no compartments? It's
No,
just
not
literally
necessarily.
it's just literally like a wee fucking. This was like a box. Like I'm going, that's so inconvenient. Like it was a wee thing. It's like 13 grand, and there's nothing in it.
Yeah, I agree. You need a compartment.
Yeah, there's not even a basic bitch
Yeah.
compartment of like
Yeah.
money here, shit there.
A handbag without a compartment will lead you to try and pay for things at Tesco with a tampon. You're just gonna go. Shit! If I had a compartment, I'd know where my money was.
Yeah. That contactless. Oh mate, I sort of miss contactless is good, but
It's up to £100 now.
I don't miss cash. I don't like having cash on me. Do you know what I hate? I don't know if I've even talked about this on this podcast, but this is like a major fucking thing. I hate change. Both money and also the environment changing around me. Progress. No, I fucking see change. Do you know what are the worst words someone can say to me? Sorry, I've no fivers. And
And they give you.
hand you a load of
£1.
bollocks, fucking pound coins,
But
20p.
I can't believe you go to some supermarket sometime and they still expect you to have a £1 coin for the trolley.
Oh,
Are
no,
we
fuck
living
off.
in the
I know.
Middle Ages?
In the 90s.
Make your trolleys contactless, you fucks.
Yeah, here, do you know what's contactless? So the fucking good one, Twink. The fucking church. There's church shit now that's contactless.
Shut.
I swear.
Jesus takes
fuck.
plastic.
Mate, he does. He does.
What?
See. I was in Kilkenny doing fucking calendar chronicles with Chloe. This is where we go to like Irish locations, and out of this calendar that we got this year, right?
Class.
We've got to do Galway before the end. It actually stopped being let's go and have a
Fun.
day away, and now it's like we'll have to do Galway this month, right? Annoyingly, we were down and we've been down as far as County Kerry, and annoyingly, one of them's in Cork.
So
We
far.
could have just.
Oh, you
we
could have
coulda
just been.
We could have just done it. We
I
coulda got
don't
it
know
done.
that they're near each other. My
They are.
geography skills
They're
are.
right by each other, but it's like right down the fucking bottom end. But anyway, this fucking what was that all about?
Contactless.
Yes, mate. In St. Canice's Cathedral in Kilkenny, which is like a fucking. We went and saw a few wee landmarks down there. It's a landmark. I wasn't doing like a church trip, and we went into this cathedral, mate. You can buy
Tap.
you can bang contactless because they're doing renovations, so you can do a wee fiver for
On the
that.
way in.
Yeah,
So you go get seer and you do a
and
wee,
then
and
here.
then you go doot doot.
and then you can go here over to the fucking candles bit. Contactless candles. Christ loves it,
That's wild.
doesn't it? But here they should be doing it more places.
So you go with your contactless tap, but you still have to light the candle manually with a lighter or something, or does it go? Whoop?
Yeah, no, yeah, you have to light it.
Oh, why? Well, that's what I want to be contactless.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can get the wee contactless ones that are like you just
Plastic.
you do it's a wee bulb. I like seeing the fucking.
I like to see the flame.
I want the flame.
Yeah. Do you know what's contactless now? Vending machines.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't used a vending machine in a long time.
You can,
Contrary to popular belief.
but you can, which is fucking great because it's the thing. Like, but do you know who I feel bad for during the contactless era? The buskers
Yeah. Buskers are people working in cafes and all.
or the homeless.
Tips must be shit now.
Yeah. Well, I have a thing about tipping. I'm not happy about it.
Oh my god, here we go, Mr. Pink
Do you know what it is? Right.
from fucking Reservoir Dogs.
I tip begrudgingly. I aggressively tip. I'm like you giving Shane a birthday present. You're like, there's your fucking present there. So I'll go into my hairdresser's and I'm already paying her like £120 just to cut my hair, right? Which I could have done myself, but I know it'd be shit. But still, I could go in, she cuts it, and then I'm giving her an extra £5 anyway because that's what you're supposed to fucking do. But I'm like, I'm already paying you quite
An
a lot of
extra
money.
fiver on a £120 service.
Yeah.
It's okay. No, it's alright.
What would you say I should be doing? 10%?
10%.
But I'm good.
I mean, a tenner.
I already think it's overpriced.
It is.
For what I'm getting done, right? For the amount of time she's spending with me, and then she's spreading herself thin. If I'm being honest, between a few
is there
people.
a lot of is there bits where is there bits of this haircutting process where she like leaves you to your own devices for like half an hour?
Most of the time,
Yeah.
and when she's with me, I'm giving her the banter, Kieran, as well. So it's like you're being
That should be the tip.
yeah, you're being entertained.
You're
here.
bringing atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am giving her a fiver at the end of it every time. Nail girl, she'll get a tip. People, like, and restaurants, I fucking hate that because I'm like, right, I want to know, is this going to be a collective jar and being spread out amongst
Do you
everybody?
prefer that, or do you prefer that it's going to the person who
Going
served
to the
you?
person who served me. Because I don't want fucking, right, there's Barbara. She's doing 36 hours a week. She's here all the time. And then we fucking Joe Ballbag comes on just a Saturday, and is he get do you mean is it he getting the same as Barbara? He's in all week because they're going to split the jar.
And sometimes then
Or
you
is it
see
pro rata?
people get busier stations in a restaurant then, so
Well,
they're going to
that's
get better tipped.
I don't know. I just
But then
have
maybe
a
they should
really-
get better tipped because it's busier and they are working harder.
I was out for dinner a couple of years ago for my friend's birthday, and this is the stage where I would have sometimes been, no, not gonna do it. I'm not gonna tip, and because I'm already going like, well, I'm already paying a lot of money for the fucking. I don't get tipped. Do you get tipped?
Depends.
Who's tipping you?
I would have got tips when I was playing music.
Aye,
You don't get
Right
tipped as
now-
a comedian.
that's what I mean.
The tips that people give comedians are like, here's one for you, mate.
Aye. Be funny.
Here's fucking 4 lesbians and a nun are in a taxi, right?
Here's a wee joke for you.
It's
you can
always
use.
something horrendous.
Yeah.
It's never a joke that you can use. It's
Yeah.
always it's always blah blah blah. I'm cancelled now.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it is. It's always a joke like that. Here's
Life-
a joke for you. There's fucking 6 pedophiles and Alex Ferguson are in a fucking airplane, right?
My father-in-law does that religiously. He'll like contact me and Sean and be like, I have an idea that you should do. And he writes like shows with Sean and I in it. He doesn't change our names. He like writes our names as the characters. And like saying to this no one is, oh, we're going to put this show on. And I'm all, I think I've got a gig.
I have a corporate.
Corporate that night.
That's mental. I think I tip.
Listen,
Right.
let's be clear. I do tip, but
But you
I'm
hate
not
it.
delighted about it. It depends it depends where it is. If I think the person's like, if I'm like, you deserve a tip because you've done really well, on top of your wages, you'll get a tip. Happy days. But like when it's expected of you, that I don't want someone telling me that I have to give more money than what I've agreed to pay when I walked in. That's what I don't like.
That's annoying, isn't
Not
it?
coming across well, am I?
No, I basically I mean. It's you have the Mr. Pink
Who's
attitude.
Mr. Pink?
Steve Buscemi and
Oh yeah, okay.
in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
basically
yeah.
says tipping automatically is a load of bollocks, and
Yeah.
if someone puts forth the effort, you'll tip them and feel good about it.
That's when they add it on, and you're like, fuck off.
I don't like that.
They add it on. If you've got a table more than 8 in a restaurant, they add on gratuity.
Yeah, I don't like that. But
No.
also, how often you out with that many people?
Also, on cruise ships, they just add on gratuity.
never been on one.
So we went on a cruise ship for our honeymoon, right?
Right.
For the first,
Is it good?
well, it is, and do you know what it's like? Do you know when you go into Big Brother, which neither of us do know what's that like, but
Do you know what it's like, Big Brother?
or like summer camp,
Yeah.
you go to something and you like have an experience. So like it's a bit shit. You get broken down. We went from New York. It was like choppy waters for like 4 days and
Right.
freezing. So like the upper decks were shut. We were inside our little cabin. It was like we were broken. It was like you couldn't walk without banging into the walls and all. It was
Fuck.
brutal. And then it didn't help that we watched Titanic on rerun the whole time we were there. But it was like you felt sick the whole time. But then you got to like. And then you were getting to know everybody, you know, because the same people are at dinner every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
and are, you know, at the theatre and doing all the stuff. And then by the end, it's class. You go to all the islands and it's really fun and you're in the sun and there's no longer, you're not boking over the fucking edge anymore. But you feel like you've had a real, like they've broken you down to make you really appreciate standing still.
Yeah.
You're like, standing still is class.
That's interesting.
By the end, so that you'll appreciate the small things
Yeah.
by the end. However, they do add on gratuity. So in your like package, they'll go, would you prefer to tip as you go, or we add like £300 on here to your price so that you can, so that's your tips included, and you have to choose one or the other. And when you go to like, when you like give your card to get like your drinks or whatever it is, they'll see that you have gratuity included. Otherwise, they'll ask you to give gratuity.
Don't like that.
Well, now you've changed your fucking tune,
I have
haven't
changed
you?
my tune. See, but I don't like that. That's
That's made
very,
me angry from
that's
then.
very presumptuous that the service is going to be
Gonna be good.
gratuity worthy. Like,
Yeah.
I have a very low threshold as well for what I think. Like, I will tip. Like, there's places I will tip fairly automatically, and whenever I used to have coin on me, I would have tipped even more.
Mm-hmm.
But with the contactless,
I know.
like, you can't be fucked. Like,
Now, what I do all the time, and I feel like a real wee murder, is every time I go when I pay in Tesco, it says, do you want to round up 66p so we can give it to some charity or another? And I every time round up.
They're funding terrorism with that though, but I mean,
Are they?
no, I'm just being a cunt. No, I think. Oh fuck, man! I don't know. Like, here's a good example. Whenever I was in New York briefly, one of the mate. By the way, stupidest fucking decision I ever made in my life.
Did you not like New York?
No, I mean this is the stupidest decision. I was in New
Oh,
York.
right.
I decided to hire a car in America.
That's so silly.
No, like I wasn't staying in New York. I was taking the car across the country, which
Well,
was
that's different.
which was lethal, right?
Yeah.
But this was the stupidest decision. I'll pick a car up in Manhattan during rush hour. Never driven on that side of the road or on that side of the car. Definitely curbed it going into the Lincoln Tunnel. Definitely lost my test. And oh
Do you
mate,
have to? Can you just start driving on the other side? Do you have to do a wee exam or something?
no.
Like, do you not have to prove to somebody I can handle?
You have your
this?
license. Your license from here is recognised there.
My license is barely recognised here.
So like we picked that up, but on the way to pick up that car, the taxi we were in crashed, and like it was his fault. Like it was
Yeah.
fully his fault. But I got out of the car and started on this woman, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She totally took it, and I'm like, "It was absolutely his fault." Like,
Oh
right?
no.
And he got back in the car and he was all, I'm like, "You're a fucking cunt." And then when we got where we're going, I tipped him, but I only tipped him like 5%, because of the whole "you nearly killed us" thing. Raging.
Yeah.
He was raging.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck you, like,
Yeah.
you should be giving us this ride for free, like, do you know what I mean?
I had the exact same with a taxi driver in New York who took us back to the airport, and we gave him all of the rest of our cash. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was like, we're not going to spend it now, we're leaving.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's not enough. And I was like, no, it is, because like it's like $43 there, and there's like 51. Like that's extra. And he was like, that's not enough for my tip. It's meant to be 20%. And I was like, well, sorry, mate, unless you want the fucking shoes off my feet, that's what you're getting. Do you know what I mean?
I'll give you a tip. Seven Dwarves and Neil Warnock are no, I'm just doing a joke. Those jokes, I see jokes that people try to get you to tell.
Yeah.
Why are they always either racist or horrendous?
People don't know that you write your own material. People think
No.
that like it's like the magic circle. That's not a thing.
My
They all
eldest.
sharing their magic in the magic circle.
What, they share it?
They all share their magic. If you become a magician, I don't know how you qualify, but in the magic circle, you're entitled to everyone else's jokes. No, magic.
Magic.
Imagine that's how it worked in
You're
comedy.
entitled to it.
Yeah, you get onto the magic circle, and then they're all,
Here's the secrets.
We're gonna teach you how to do this one and that one, and you don't have to
Do you
actually
remember
saw
that
anyone
shit?
in half.
Do you remember that shit? What'd you call that? The masked magician thing?
Yes, the masked singer.
No, the magician. What did you call that shit? He used to give away the secrets. Like he taught you how to do a bullet catch.
Was he being funny?
No, he was an asshole. Like he literally wore like a man in the Iron Mask style,
Hold on.
and he used to.
Did he
just
have a TV
prance around.
show?
Yeah.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
What did you call that there?
Do you know why he wore a mask? He would get his fuck kicked
I
down
know, yeah.
by the rest of the magic circle for giving that away.
Do you remember like? Oh no, I can't even say what I was about to say, but I just remember that like. I remember everybody had a theory on who that was. Like loads of people. It was sort of like
Did that
the
look like a
Power
wrestler?
Rangers. It was like the Power Rangers, though. People were just saying racist things based on the fact that it was mask.
Did you
yeah.
like the Power Rangers?
Dan?
Val Valentino.
Oh fuck! I didn't know that. But what was the name of the show?
Was it not just
Master.
Breaking the Magician's Code?
Breaking the Magician's Code. Dun, dun, dun.
You see, the thing is obviously magic isn't really like magic.
Don't
but
fucking
it's
no.
illusion.
No,
What?
some of it some of it is illusion. Like
Not all of it's illusion. Like none of it's. Kieran, nobody goes Alakazam and a fucking rabbit that was not ever in the room that day comes out of a.
no, I don't think with
Here-
a rabbit.
I was on the cruise on my honeymoon, right, with a magician who was on Britain's Got Talent, right? Really well known. I can't remember who he is now, but at the time, and that fucking man, you'd meet. So we would say to them, and him and his wife, right? We'll meet you for a drink at there's like 20 bars. Meet you to drink at the piano bar, right, on the second level, and we would go, and they would arrive after us, and we would tell them like 10 minutes before, like, I swear to God, he wouldn't have any time to prep anything. And we'd be sat at our table, the night would go on, you'd go up to the bar to get a drink, and he'd go, oh, do a bit of magic, and he would lift a lemon from behind the bar and cut it open, and your fucking card would be on it that he had and has
Mental.
packed. Mad shit like that. And you're like, how?
Because he sold his soul to the devil. So I believe
He did though, because it is
Dynamo.
online, and it's a fact. This guy actually used to set up. Tan's already going to have to cut this. He set up an office in America and scammed people like fuck.
who that magician?
That magician, it's true. It's online. He got done for it, and he used to like scam people online, or in this, do you like set up a thing, and then people would come, and I think they thought they were going to be like actors or like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
they would get headshots taken. He would take like $5,000 for them to get on the
The
website. And then he
Pornhub
would,
casting couch. Like,
yeah, and he would pack up shop and fuck off in.
Mental.
Yeah.
Well, what was I going to say?
Dynamo.
I've often got into this conversation. This is one way to drive our Kevin completely up the wall. I'll just look at him and go, some magic's real. He loses his mind.
Which one?
Dynamo, Darren Brown.
That's not magic. It's endurance.
No.
Oh, Darren
That's
Brown?
David Blaine.
No, that's David Blaine. Darren Brown, I read his book. It's not magic.
He says it's not magic.
Yeah. But you think
That's
he's
what he
just a wee
would
magic.
say. Like, that's my theory.
No.
Dynamo.
What it is
Dynamo levitating at Christ the Redeemer, whatever, the statue in Rio. Real. Tell me how he does it, Dan. Wires connected to the moon. Real.
but just because somebody can do something doesn't mean magic
He
explains
can
it.
levitate.
Right, but I bet you there's something I can do that you can't. And it's not magic.
You can speak in a Derry accent. I can't do that,
There
but
we go.
it's not magic. But there's reasons for it. But I
Yeah.
think the reason for Dynamo being able to fly is magic.
Maybe he can jump and stay airborne for just longer than the average human.
I doubt that he's watching. Dynamo, see if you're out there, mate. I believe in you.
I don't
I
know.
love it. I
It's-
love him. Can I just say how much I would love to go see him? Like,
Is he so Dynamo? Is he the boy that like cuts his hand and all? Oh no, that's David Blaine
that's
again.
David Blaine. Yeah. No, Dynamo does some of the best.
Dynamo's the English fella.
Yeah, he does some of the
Yes,
best.
he's
Like,
good. Looks like he should be in the streets.
Yeah,
I mean the band, not just like.
yeah, not riff raff, street rat. I know, but yeah, man, he's class. Like he does some really amazing close up magic, and does shit, mate. He just, I love that guy. Like,
I was reading Darren Brown's book whenever I was at the Fringe one year in Edinburgh, and this is 100% true. His book is called Happy.
oh,
And
that
I was
one.
reading it, being like, how do you be happy? And I looked up, and Darren Brown walked past.
Oh, that's weird.
Sean was with me. It's true. I took a photograph. It happened. But do you think that he was like he
Um,
appears every time you read his book? It's like the lamp.
Me and our Sheila went to see him, and I was very close. I was like down to like the last two to be getting up on the thing on the stage. I was gutted. He went, I'm gonna go with this guy, and I was like, oh, I'm devastated.
Oh no, I don't know if I'd want to.
Oh, I wanted to fucking participate. I want to see that shit.
Do you ever watch his shows where he convinces people to like save? Remember that guy landed the aircraft and all?
Yeah. I love that shit.
So there's a book called Elephants on LSD. Have you ever read it?
No.
It's unreal, right? It's all about like medical experiments, social experiments and medical experiments, and about how far you can push humans to do shit because
Right.
of authority.
Right.
It's really interesting. And like, it's called, one of the projects on it is they just gave elephants a whole pile of LSD and just
Just
see
to see what
happened.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all,
They've
I
done
think
that.
they all
Do
went to sleep.
you ever see the spider webs when they give spiders different drugs?
No.
And to see what effect it has. Have you seen this? Oh, look this up. This is.
And it just goes mental.
I don't mean you look it up. I mean, and look this up. So like on like LSD, the web is like all fucking all over the place and very scatty. But on cocaine, it's like it runs along a wee line here and then does like a super web here and then runs up there and then goes. So the energy's like all concentrated on all these different bits.
So now we know which type of drugs to take depending on what shit we need to get done that day.
What type of web you need to create? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So with the elephants on LSD, in it there's an experiment, a white coat experiment about how people react to people in white coats because you assume they're a doctor, they're educated,
yeah.
whatever they tell me to do, that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
It's the same way women going into like giving birth. They assume that if someone tells them like you know this is the process how we're gonna get your baby out of you. You just go yeah okay, but you forget that you can do what you want.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
give birth in a fucking field and it's
Yeah.
not illegal.
Yeah.
But so the
We
there's-
don't
advocate.
We don't advocate birthing in fields unless
mean,
you are a cow or a goat.
For a millennia, it was done. We all got here fine.
Some of us got here fine.
Yeah. The
infant mortality rates through the roof.
We bit higher.
Don't worry. Yeah.
And they did this experiment where they put like people, but actors behind this big screen, and volunteers, part of the experiment, would sit in front of buttons or levers or whatever it was, and other actors in white coats would stand beside them, and they would say, right, and the people, they would tell them the people behind the screen are in an electric chair, and you're going to give them shocks, and they would tell them what the experiment is to do is to see how far we can push the human body through pain, right? So that's what these volunteers thought they were there to do, and they would like, push more, and they would just get the actors to scream fucking bloody murder behind the things, and they would go, and you can do more, he's still alive, as long as he's alive, and they've signed a document, they're happy enough to go as far as possible, just keep going, and these people were inflicting like 10 times the amount of electricity through that actor's body that would kill a human.
Yeah.
Because somebody in a white coat told them to.
Oh, it's
because
mental.
we as people are so like, we're so conditioned to go, yeah, I'll do what you tell me to do because you know more than me.
Did you see that Darren Brown one where they actually get somebody to push someone off a building?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then they stop,
Yeah, and I think it was something like out of the was it out of the 4 people or something that were doing that? 3 of them fucking did it. Something like that. 3 of them actually did the push.
Like, isn't that because you can convince people to do anything? It's like subliminally. So obviously, subscribe to my podcast.
We should do the biscuit world. We should do biscuit World Cup, by the way. That was seamless, by the way.
Wasn't it?
Today's second round of the biscuit World Cup.
Is the wee fruit salad here just for later?
That's for the next episode, the Fruit and Whole Foods FA Cup. So, fig rolls versus Kit Kat. These are cheap fig rolls, by the way. But
doesn't matter. The cheap Jaffa cakes are way better than the Jaffa cakes. I don't like Jaffa cakes in general, but the rest of my family are like, cheap Jaffa cakes are far nicer. They're not like chewing syrup. Fig roll, by the way, is a shout and a half.
It is.
I remember one time doing trick-or-treating and someone gave me a fig roll in my bag and I was like, that's so sticky.
That's a...
Stuck against the bag.
See people that give you fucking weird shit out on the Halloween...
Actually, in saying that there... When I was a teenager, I lived near a travellers caravan camp, and like October 14th, these 2 wee lads, about 10 years old, knock on my door, trick or treat, and as all trick or treat, fuck off, come back in 2 weeks, it's too early. And they were like, missus, give us something. And I was like, fucking hell, right, okay. Went into my kitchen, opened the fridge door, and my dad keeps his Kit Kats in the fridge, also controversial. And I took out 2 Kit Kats, closed my fridge door. 2 of them were standing in my kitchen in front of me. I gave them a Kit Kat each, and I had to give them a bag of prawn cocktail.
That's fucking mental.
I know.
I
already know what's going to win here.
I haven't had a fig roll since the last time we did this.
That's not that long ago, probably. Do you know what? No, I'm going to say something.
It's really dry.
Very dry. That's exactly what I was going to say. Because it's probably because it's the cheap ones, or as my stepson's called, off-brand. I hate that term. Off-brand. Yeah. Fuck off-brand. You're up your own hole.
Off-brand?
No. It says they're soft and fruity, like me. Aye. They're lovely though, but like either... Here, what is that shit in the middle of a fig roll? Like, what is that?
Figs. Quite literally. Clip it. There it is. What do you hear this?
What sort of fruit is that?
I'll never ask you this again, but what's on the back of your Kit Kat? It says here, would you rather... Kit Kat getting in on the banter. Would you rather be the person...
I think they're penguin now. Penguins.
Would you rather be the person who has held the door open too soon or the person who has to run for it?
The person who's held the door open too soon.
I'd probably rather be the person that's holding the door.
I don't like someone looking at me running.
I hate that moment where you have to go, thanks, I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
Can't.
That's it. We did a sketch before that. I think Mark McElroy wrote it, where it was...
Yeah.
I can't remember, it was for like Late License. Remember Late License?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Night player, and I don't know, it's probably night player now, and I was about like holding the door open, and then you're like literally across the building, you have to scoot. This one says, would you rather confess to your hairdresser that you don't love your haircut, or tip them a $5?
I was trying to go, fuck me.
This is, would you rather confess to your hairdresser you don't love your haircut, or send back your food at a restaurant. I'd rather
I'd rather throw food back.
send food back, because do you know why? The person who's made the food isn't standing in front of you.
Yeah.
They can be offended in another room.
Tell chef it's his bag, mate.
Yeah. But your hairdresser.
How do you do it,
And I
Kit
wouldn't
Kat?
tip either of them.
I'm lying to myself if I say anything apart from this.
I do that. That's what I do. I do that. I'm happy to do that. Extra chocolate. We know this is going to win, don't we? Quite clearly. Kit Kats. Do you know why? This bothers me. Are you calling this a biscuit or a chocolate bar?
Biscuit.
It's a fucking biscuit. People call that a chocolate bar just because there's chocolate on it.
It's literally filled with wafer. Like,
You don't call that a piece of fruit, do you? Wise up. I like the Kit Kat.
I've made a
Kit
mess.
Kat's a winner. I'm going to eat the rest of mine. Do you like your Kit Kat in the fridge?
I do like chocolate out of the fridge. I do like that.
Well, that's longer, but I like the meltiness.
The meltiness actually annoys me because it's very.
Melty.
It's like claggy or something. I don't like that.
Yeah. No, I'm up for a wee melty Kit Kat. I know a friend of mine puts all of her chocolate in the freezer. She puts her chocolate in the freezer.
That's too hard, surely, no?
Well, she's not for shoving in beer it. No, she just keeps it. I think she just sucks it then. I think because she's like, she wants it to last longer, so she doesn't have to eat as much chocolate. Like that wouldn't work on me. I would just eat it all anyway.
No, I can't have shit like this around in the house at the minute. Like I'm basically behaving.
Kit Kat's the winner.
I can't have. Yeah, definitely. I can't have shit like that around me in the house.
Really?
Yeah, it's too much of a.
Do you know what you need to bring
too much
in?
of a tempt.
What I had last night. Have you ever had a skinny whip? It's like a fudgy wee bar.
Right.
I don't know if that. It's just definitely not a biscuit, so it's not gonna happen, is it? You can't bring it in for this if it's not an actual biscuit category.
We can't do it anyway because I'm in the second round now. There's no new biscuits being added.
How many have you got?
I know we must be approaching the third round now. I think we still have to do coconut rings.
Boke.
They were in a bad round. It was them and fucking malted milks or something like.
So the wee fig rolls are gone now.
Yeah, well you can keep them.
No, I don't want them. They're shit.
Bring them home. They're off brand. Bring them home for the kids.
Yeah, no, they'll be ripping. We up their whole fuckers.
I didn't know how real that was there for a sec.
No, they are like they're like off. No, I wouldn't do off.
They
Kids are
don't.
wee shits, but like in my school, whenever I was going to school, I think I told you before, you couldn't bring in like crunch corners or anything. Like people would be like, yucky yogurt. That's what people used to say. And if you brought in a crunch corner, you'd been known as like somebody who had a crunch corner for like 9 years. And now, like my stepsons will only go into school with like a biscuit and crisps. They're like, if you eat a sandwich, you'll look like a right prat. You can't eat a sandwich. You can only eat a sandwich type thing if you get it from the canteen, like a bread roll.
Oh my god, a sandwich.
It's gimpy.
Fuck up.
Sandwich
Fuck
is
up.
pure gimpy
Well,
now.
here, gimps. Enjoy this
Start
or
being
go
hungry.
hungry.
And malnourished.
Enjoy. Do you know what? See fat there. I'd be giving them stinking sandwich. I'd be giving them. You know a sandwich
Do you know what I do to
when you
fuck 'em
open
up?
your lunchbox.
I give them a crisp sandwich.
That's good.
Get your
Do you
fucking
know like a
crisp
sandwich when you open your lunchbox? There's that minute of going.
Yeah.
Like here's tuna and onion, mate. Enjoy.
It's not inside its individual wrapper inside the box.
Yeah.
Your lunchbox. It's just
Just
sat
the
there.
sandwich. Yeah. Our Declan. This is a good Kit Kat story. Our Declan. Wanker. So he was he'd come home. He studied over in England, right? With Kev, and he came home, and he was going on like a tour of Europe, like with his now wife, right? And so he was taking a year out of uni, and I'll get there quicker, and so there was they were staying at ours, but they were like working and saving money, and my dad was sick. This was like first time probably my dad was properly sick, and he was in hospital, and our Declan then was kind of like, you know, mum was like working, and our Declan was kind of like looking after me a wee bit, and sort of, and he was one day he would get me like a Belfast bap for my lunch, right, and he would just go, here your baps are, right, and he goes, there's bap bar, and one day he shouts up, so he'd been up to the shop, got the papers from my mum to throw in to my dad or whatever in the hospital, and he got me a Belfast bap, and he goes, there's a bap bar and a couple of Kit Kats, and I went, right, cheers, see you later. He went on out. I come down the stairs. There's a bap, right? I stick the bap in my bag. There's no Kit Kats. I'm like, right, fuck, you can't find them.
Yeah.
And I went on to school, right? And I whipped the bap out at lunchtime, as it were, and go to bite into it. He'd put the Kit Kats in the wrappers in the buttered Belfast bap. And when I went into it, there was paper and tinfoil and all sorts.
That is so
And
cool.
as soon as it did it, I went, come.
Oh my
Because
god.
I knew he's such a wanker. Like,
That's brilliant.
it was.
Do you know, me and my brother never played pranks on each other.
Our Declan and Kevin would have tortured me. Like,
I wish we had. But see, I think it's different if you've got, you've got 4?
3 brothers, 4 sisters.
Is there that many?
Mm.
Well, see, it's different when I've got so many siblings. There's bound to be ones that gang up than another one. And used to, there is pranks, but it was just me. The closest I ever got to a prank is when I knocked him out with a golf ball.
When you what? Knocked him out with one? Like just the ball? Like you hit it with a golf club or you
No,
just
the
threw it
ball.
at him?
I didn't even throw the ball at him. I just lobbed him against the head. In like close range. His head was here and I just went,
Have I told the dart
In
story
pure
on,
anger.
on here before about Arshila? When I threw a dart in the Arshila's leg, have I told that story? And she basically she didn't know it was there. We had this was before darts. This is before things were childproofed. It was like literally sharp darts, like.
how long? She didn't know it was there
Yeah,
in her leg.
yeah, she was walking past. I was sitting playing with this. It was like set up in front of like at the sofa, but I was like lying down throwing these wee darts at this board. Sheila walked past, and I was just literally I was talking to her, Kevin. I went, "Aye," and I like went in just at her knee and in the side of her leg, and she just walked into the kitchen. Me and our Kevin were like, and she walked into the kitchen, and she came back and she sat down, and we were both just sitting there, and I'm like starting to slowly put the rest of the darts away. And Elaine goes, Sheila, what's that in your leg? And she just went, "Ah!" You know what I mean? You know why kids do that? They just like to see something just go, "Ah!" Like I did that one day.
That's so funny.
I went into Barnum's one day to get ice cream with Chloe. We don't even going out like for a couple of months. Went into Barnum's. My favourite ice cream, probably like rum and raisin. If you get a good rum and raisin somewhere.
That is so niche.
Like, but it used to be good times out of Barnum's, the rum and raisin, right? So I went in there, and
Do you have to be over 18 to get that?
no,
There's booze in it.
Aye. It's
All right.
no, but it's not like you're not eating it and you're not gonna get a fucking
Yeah, you're
buzz.
not getting.
You're not getting a buzz off it, like
Yeah.
it's cooked out, like it's just a flavour, right? So
Okay.
I went in and I says to the guy, ordered whatever Chloe wanted, and then I said, here, rum and raisin, and he was like, there's no rum and raisin, and it was the only reason he left the house, and I looked at Chloe and just went like that, right? As a joke, she's pissing herself, and the guy literally went like this. And I went, I'm only joking, mate, can I have some? And he was like, not happy. Like, he was fully raging about it. Like,
Do you know what Sean does to me every time we're like paying for something in a shop? Every time. So I'm paying, like say I've got my card out and I'm paying, Sean will be like, that's all the dough gone now. Like he'll just do something forget, or he'll be like, did you save up 2 weeks worth for that now? Or I'll get my card out and he'll be like, fuck me, you paying? Like he always does. He squanders me every
do you ever
time.
see the Seinfeld thing that he does when he insists on getting the bill, and then when he goes, no, I'll get it. Okay. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
It's very
Or
enjoyable.
Sean does stuff like we'll pay for it and he'll be like, right, there's enough left for 2 pints now. Like, do you know, like he's a fucking asshole.
Do I have time to do a couple of questions? Are we good? I'll do a couple. Hang on. So there's a couple of good ones here. We'll do this one. This will be enough. Hang on. I just want to see what these new ones are. Somebody asked me what I would do if I was Man United manager. Shoot myself. Somebody. Oh, there's 2 related questions here that are both really good.
Right.
Somebody asked me who my favourite Celtic player is. I don't have one. George Cadety. Do you remember him from the 90s? Stick the ball in the netty. That's bad. That's some bad rhymes. So
I think it's really good.
here's two related questions. One, did you have a favourite toy growing up? What was it?
So, 2 different things. One was the post office I had.
Oh, that's so weird. Our Sheila had our Sheila claims that she ran a post office.
No, mine was like
Basically.
an actual building my mum and dad bought me. It was like I ran the post office in Derry. I would do all the pensions. I would like a wee pop up, like a wee plastic. You open it up, and there's like a wee like a hole in the wall, like a wee
a wee hatch.
yeah hatch. People would come in. It was filled with like envelopes and stamps and like a pen that was like the lotto pen. It was like on a string.
Or Sheila had this shit.
Loved it.
It's really funny to me though because I'm like, I like. What is what are you like? You're playing admin.
I know.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what is the
Yeah, what's the fun in it?
like? It's like, do you know a bit in Big when he's talking about you know, the I don't get it scene in Big where he's like the guy's like it's a building that turns into like a scary monster. He's like, yes, I get the monster side of it, but like, what's fun about playing with a building?
Yeah.
It's like that. What's like I don't get.
Why are you playing post
the
office?
post office thing's funny to me. It's
And,
like it's like when you see like we girls used to play with their dolls.
Yeah.
And you know, like the scene in Toy Story where she's literally sitting there going like, "And how are you, Mrs. Nesbitt, and pouring tea?" I used to be going,
Why is she?
Why is this?
My absolute favorite thing to do was a jumble sale.
I love the jumble sale.
Yeah, I
love
used to
that.
rip wee bits of paper out of a jotter and sit them beside or stick them on things, and they were all like 10p written in pencil, 20p, all my shit. I'd give away half my shit. I'd do it in the front porch. My ma would come out and be like, "That's my kettle." I'd be like, "People want it. There's a demand."
I remember
the last one that was sold was great.
I used to love there was a massive jumble sale for like Lent or something.
Yes.
In St. Coleman's every year. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh mate.
Yeah.
Go around buy shit. Somebody, I got I tried to haggle for it was like a what do you call it what did you call Skeletor's fucking castle? There was a toy of it. It was like from He-Man, the He-Man castle basically, Castle Grayskull.
Right.
Mate, I pull that clean out of my hoop bar.
Your movie references are very like on point.
Do you know how niche they are though? Last night I made one in the middle of Lavery's, like at the out the back, like in the wee room, and like
knew.
there was like 3 or 4 other comedians there, and they were all like, "Haven't seen it." I'm like, it was Serpico, the fucking Al Pacino movie.
I haven't seen it either.
It's just
So what's happening at the jumble sale?
sorry. So I tried to haggle, and I thought I'll come back and get this at lunchtime. It was gone. I'm not over it.
Here, you should get off the pot.
I know. I should have committed.
Yeah.
But
But did you not do your own jumble sales? Because I just sit out my front, sell all my shit.
I think I had one. I definitely had one where I did get rid of some shit.
Yeah.
But I'm a hoarder, so
Oh, even now I get rid of shit all the time. Like Sean has to like go and look through. The
Sean
rubbish.
strikes me as a hoarder. Like,
He's not. Oh, he's not a hoarder at all.
really?
No, not at all. But I'm
Really?
like, I'll dump it. No, Sean's not a hoarder at all. Sean wouldn't keep anything. Sean has way more kids than we that live with us.
But like
He's like, bye.
but like I've always thought of him as a hoarder because of the prop stuff that he does.
Oh, he has like a suitcase full of random shit, but it's very like it's curated and it's like
That's a great word for it.
and it's like it stays in the suitcase and it goes
Right.
in the hot press. Like it's not like there's not like random bits sitting about our house.
I don't like clutter.
I don't like clutter.
But I do hoard. Like, do you know what I'm really bad with books.
Right.
Like I actually like. I get emotional whenever there comes a time when I have to like take a box of books to like a charity shop.
Oh really?
Like, it really annoys me.
I don't read that much, so I'm okay.
I hate it. I hate giving them away. I'm like, I have
they're
memories
expensive.
of I remember reading these. I like to see them every now and again and go,
Do you know when you go through phases as a child, like Beanie Babies or like all those sort of things? You're like, well, now I've collected 50 of those and now I just don't want them. Or like Pokemon or Pogs, like Pokemon cards or Pogs. And you're like, I'm
Weird,
going to sell
'cause
these off.
I think the only thing I ever got into that was like that was football stickers, and you kept them all in the book.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But you can sell your book.
I never got into Pogs.
But do you remember people thinking years ago when you had Pogs or the football book stickers or Pokemon cards, like we were all convinced these were going to be worth a fortune
Yeah.
someday. You're like, I got a silver Charmander. I'm going to keep him and buy a house when I'm 40 someday out of this. And you're like, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, at most you get a couple £100, like, but
If even.
yeah,
And off some absolute fucking weirdo knob
yeah.
jockey on eBay.
It's not even worth. Yeah, it's not
No,
even worth.
I don't
it.
even want your money.
So-
I don't want to know how you earned that money that you're buying this from me for.
Was the post office your favorite toy?
That and my karaoke machine. But I would say the post office was my favorite thing to play with.
I-
Karaoke machine was more business.
I had like Action Man was a big thing for me. I had like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
I loved. Oh mate,
That's so cliche. Isn't
Action
it? But,
Man.
like,
I know,
fair
but like,
play. Yeah.
fuck you, cliche in your post office.
Post office.
Sitting here doing my stamps. Oh, all right, Mrs. Nesbitt, this is a double week. Like, yeah, Action Man. Oh mate, I had Action Man that had like he had a Jeep.
Right.
That Jeep, oh mate, that Jeep was amazing, right? Now, when my nephew was born, I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was like 4 or 5, he commandeered that Jeep. Now I was 16. I was no longer playing with Action Man, but that Jeep got wrecked, and I was like, I'm not happy with this.
Was you still holding on to the Jeep when you were 16?
I still have my Action Man in the loft in my man's house. Like, I mean, it's gonna be worth someday.
That's so embarrassing because it can't be worth something someday because there's so many of them.
No,
around.
I'm literally joking about that.
Oh,
Like,
right,
but
okay.
I mean, I once had aspirations that I thought like I'll hang on to those as a memory.
Yeah.
And then I was like, here, if I ever have kids, I'll give them that. Now
Yeah.
I don't want to have
But
kids.
that's what I
so
don't
I'm
care
never
about
gonna do
either is memories.
it. Another wonder quote.
Give
Don't
me
care about memories.
Give me a whack of Alzheimer's any day. I'm not bothered. I do not care to keep things for sentimentality.
I do.
I got to
Depending
my
on what it
ma's
is.
and she's like, look at all your... the other day, my ma found a handful of my teeth. She just went... she had a handful... look what I found! She had a handful of baby teeth of mine. I was like, that's... And it was funny, she was all...
Teeth are a weird thing to keep though.
She was all, those are yours and Darren's. And I was like, how do you know? And she was all, because that's my brother. And she was all, well, probably. And I was all, no, you cannot tell by looking at those baby teeth that one belongs to me and one belongs
You're
to
gonna have to
another
DNA
person.
test them. Like, yeah, that's fucking grim.
Yeah.
No, Action Man was probably a favorite toy. I think I also had. I've talked about these before. I can't get into too much detail because somebody up the street fucking stole them, a cunt. But and he broke them and then gave them back to me broke. But I had these wee smaller soldiers that were so Action Man's about that height.
Yeah, yeah.
And then these ones were about that height, but all they were brilliant wee toys. They were called Core. Love them.
Like the Marine.
Yes, and I fucking loved that. They were fucking brilliant toys.
My most disappointing gift that I got as a child was from my stepfather. No, I didn't have a stepfather.
Is that what he called himself? Just some drifter down the street?
Uncle Marty. That's from my godfather, my stepfather. And he bought me the Pocahontas VHS. And I was like, lethal, I love Pocahontas. I've yet to see the movie.
You haven't watched it?
Well, because we didn't go to the cinema at this stage in our lives.
Oh, sorry, I thought you mean you still haven't seen it.
Oh, no, I've seen it now. I know what happens. And so he bought me the video, and I was like, oh, yes, it's the Pocahontas video. So I sat and watched it, and I literally was watching for like an hour, and it was just songs with like a wee thing moving across it, and the words were on the bottom and all, and it was just songs from like Pocahontas and different Disney shows. And then it ended, and I was like, where's the movie? And my mommy was all, no, he's got like a sing-along karaoke Pocahontas and other songs. And I literally sat there like 7 years old being like, but I wanted to watch the movie and I never got to watch it until
I think I said this before about Lion King, where I've never been able to get into Lion King because the version we had of it was like a knockoff fucking, it was an off-brand.
It was an off-brand Lion King. It was the Tiger King.
You know, out of fucking Andy Town Meats or something, the fucking butchers. Literally filmed in the cinema. Some guy gets up and walks across.
People walk past now.
But the Dan wants us to wrap up, but there is just one quick related question.
Right.
Which was the toy that you wanted that you didn't get.
Probably the Pocahontas video, but also
I'm trying to think if there was one.
I know.
Go.
I remember when Tamagotchis came out, they were originally a tenner.
Yeah.
Right? And Pauline's Patch on Shippey Street in Derry was selling Tamagotchis for a tenner. And I remember walking through Richmond Centre, holding my daddy's hand, must have been 7 or 8 or whatever age it was, and I said to him, I was begging him for weeks, can I please get a Tamagotchi? I swear I'll like not break it, I'll look after it. And my daddy said, at the time everyone was pretending to kids that they were real pets. And my daddy was like, you're not responsible enough to have a pet.
Oh my God.
And I was like, it's not a pet, it's a keyring. And he goes, it's a pet, don't you have to clean up its poo? Don't you have to put it to sleep? He goes, you are not getting a Tamagotchi. And do you know when I got a Tamagotchi? when they started selling them in the pound shop for £1, and then I soon realised it was too expensive.
Yeah, I got one. I got one that was like I got an off-brand. Mine was
Yeah.
like a Gamatachi.
Hamagacha, yeah.
And I got a Hyundai, and it was bollocks, and it had no memory on it, so it basically
the wee pet inside was like, where am I?
the longest you could keep it alive was like 3 days or something, but other people are keeping theirs alive for like, I've had mine alive for like 80 days or something, and mine would just reset every third day. It was fucking
And then become a
bollocks.
new pet.
It was the same wee thing, but it was like a new. You went through the same shit with it, training it. More.
Yeah.
I fucking hated that.
So before we finish, right? Do you remember alien babies?
Yeah,
They were inside all the gel.
Yeah,
I fucking
stinking.
loved them too. But you used
Really?
to chuck them at people's walls.
I remember they
would
would stick on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone was convinced that was it whenever it was going to be the millennium that they were all going to turn into real babies.
Real
or
things.
something?
Yeah, that was such a load of bollocks. What was it
that like
about?
a
What was it
New
about
Year's
that
Eve?
time? It was absolute just bollocks about what 2000 was going to be.
Do you know what happened? About the millennium bug
The
and all
bug
that
and
there
all that
shit
bollocks,
die.
aye.
But I think at that time you could say what you wanted to people because there was no real internet
Nobody
accessible.
cared,
And
yeah.
nobody, you just knew the people in your town and stuff. So you could literally tell kids, see that wee bit of jelly and that bit of plastic, that's going to become an actual human, and you have to look after it, even though you're 5.
Yeah, even though you're not allowed to look after a virtual dog.
yeah.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
If I had, I can't think of an actual toy that I was like, oh, I'm down to have that and didn't get it. If there was one type of toy, I would have loved a remote control car, like one of the really cool ones, like one of
Yeah.
the ones that in the advert, it's like fucking crushing buildings and fucking going over sand and all.
And it doesn't just go forward and back; it can go round.
Yeah,
corners.
and not the bollocks of like, what you didn't realize about most remote control cars was you had to charge it for about 4 hours to get to play with it for
You
10
get
minutes.
8 minutes
Do
on
you
it,
know what I
yeah.
mean? So like that's pure shite. Like, but yeah, good questions. But thanks for coming in. This has been a
Thanks
good
for having me.
episode.
We
Sorry,
didn't even play
do
FIFA.
you know why? Didn't need it, mate. Didn't need it.
So
I think-
everybody else who's on here playing FIFA, you need it.
yeah, like I think once I've destroyed somebody on FIFA, is there a point to it?
But did I not win?
You didn't win.
But I
You were alright. You
I
were
played
good.
a-
You were good.
played better than you, and then you had a wee fluke. Isn't that what happened, basically?
That's what happened. But I mean, United flicked that treble 99. So you know what I mean.
I'm laughing. I
Stay-
don't know what that means about.
I know it was.
That
It was
treble,
actually.
yeah.
It was a deep enough football joke, to be fair, because it was being snarky. But no, thanks for coming in. It's been
Thanks
good
for having
times. Your podcast is out on YouTube and
It's out
everywhere
every
you get
Thursday.
podcasts.
Remember when with Diona Doherty? You're on it at some point.
Soonish.
Soonish.
Yeah.
And then also, if you go to the Grand Opera's website, my show Home Alone, which is an adult Christmas comedy, is on sale right now. And you can also Google Bridesmaids of Northern Ireland, which is doing a tour around the whole of the north, all the theatres. You can go to both.
Good times. Go to all the shows. Yeah. So good times. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
Oh, love it.